Okay, so I figure it's actually time for an update because it's been a long time. And I didn't really intend for things to happen like this, but it's kind of been a little bit of a weird year. I don't know. I just have been busy with working. I finished up working for a little while, and then now I'm back in school. So I literally have just been like kind of focusing on different things, but also I had to get some wrap up work done with the engine. So the engine's actually it's ready to go in. Like there's some minor things I got to do before it happens. Like for example, there's the strip stud on the back of the turbo housing on the passenger side turbo. So I'm going to end up probably just replacing that housing because we tried to get the stud out and it didn't end up working. So it's just been a pain, and it's lights turning off. It's probably just going to be easier at the end of the day to just buy a new housing. So one of my friends is going to sell me his dad's old turbo so that I could replace my internals from my turbo into his housing because his housings are in really good shape. So thanks to Kurt and your dad for that one. That's like super clutch because that stud was literally like stopping the engine from going in. And then one thing also that I did, I'll flip the camera around. Okay. So now you can see that everything's all back together. The garage is a total mess. I've been trying to kind of clear things out. We cleaned it out a little bit, and then I just haven't had any time to go back through anything and figure it all out. So one thing I did figure out, I should have noticed this earlier, I'm actually really upset that I didn't because I might have to take the plenum back off, is that these injectors are actually old style injectors. So unfortunately, that means that I have to replace them all because my car, even though my car is a 90, which is the first model year, it would have come with the new style or the old style injectors, but the previous owner before me swapped to the new style pigtails and new style injectors. So when I did my injectors, I just bought new style ones. So now I have to get, well, I did buy them. They're coming in tomorrow. I bought a set of 370cc fuel injectors that are the new style from this car. So it would have been what came in the 94 to 96 model year. But yeah, anyways, aside from all that, when the NA engine comes out, so the power steering pump would go right here. And I've been told that you can use the twin turbo power steering pump. You gotta block off the spot for the Hikis, obviously, because my car is not a Hikis model. I actually don't think any NA models were Hikis in the US. So I did that, and then obviously the plenum's on, but it might have to come off tomorrow, which is not too big of a deal. But I got as much of the vacuum line stuff done as I could. And then there's one line over here that comes off of, honestly, I don't even know what to call that, but it's supposed to go somewhere to the turbo. So I need to replace that, but this is just reminding me to torque my crank pulley because I impacted it on. So when I go to actually install this in the car, I want it to be all good. So I forget what else. So also my car is kind of broken right now, which is really funny. So that's it for the engine. And then I'll go talk about what's wrong with the car, which is also parts that I've ordered. Okay, so I'm at the car right now, and you can see I'm missing a front lip, and also my bumper's damaged. So a bunch of separate things have happened. I haven't updated in a long time, but so basically, my buddy's neighbor hit my car, so that's why the damage is there on the front bumper. And then also, a couple weeks ago now, my pivot ball in my trans snapped off, which obviously the clutch fork is connected to, so the clutch fork fell off. And then when that happened, the slave overextended and the piston came out and the little rod and the boot came out. So I didn't feel comfortable running that slave again. So I I was kind of in a rough spot because I was so close to being done with the engine that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to finish the engine and then deal with that when I get the engine in. So I ordered the 350Z pivot arm and pivot ball, like the upgrade kit from Z1 Motorsports, so that I can do that. And I was like, you know what, if I'm going to take the trans off to do that, I just want to put the engine in at the same time. So that's kind of why it pressured me into finishing the engine. Otherwise, it still probably wouldn't be done by now. But yeah, so when that happened, I had to tow the car, and it's pretty, I mean, it's not like the lowest Z, but it's pretty low. So I got rejected by the first tow truck, and then the second guy was an absolute champ. Like, he was the homie. He let me drive it up. I was able to get it in and out of gears and stuff. It's just I wasn't comfortable finishing the drive home without a clutch. So I rolled it up onto the truck myself, and then he strapped it down. And yeah, so now we're kind of here, and that's why this whole situation is happening. Yeah, so basically that was like everything that's kind of been going down for a little while. Hopefully this weekend we're going to start pulling the car apart and getting ready to put the turbo engine in. But like I said, there's some small stuff I got to wrap up first, and I'm kind of bummed about. Like, I was hoping I didn't have to buy injectors, but I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, you could have just swapped the pigtails back and it would have been like $60 for the parts. And I was like, yeah, but the early style injectors tend to fail, and I didn't want to deal with having to buy injectors again later because an injector failed rather than just replacing them now. I didn't want to spend the money twice. I've made that mistake before, and I don't want to make it again. So that was kind of my thought process there. But yeah, hopefully once, I mean, if it's not done this weekend, I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Like, Friday I don't go to school, and then, oh, the light shut off. Thank you. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, Friday I don't go to school, and then Saturday, Sunday weekend. So I don't know if I'm going to do it here or if I'm going to do it elsewhere, but I got to do some cleaning on the garage if I'm going to be able to do it here. I also have to get a new engine hoist or borrow one from my buddy who has plenty of projects that he works on. So he's definitely got one. He's willing to let me borrow, but yeah, so I got to figure all that out. And then we have some projects on the other cars. Like, I just did an oil change on my dad's car so that my sister could drive to her school, because she doesn't have her own car yet. And then just like the Camry needs valve cover gaskets and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot of stuff going on. But it was kind of a quick little update as much as I can remember right now. I'm sure there's going to be something I forget when I go to put it in the car. But definitely when the engine's going in, I'm definitely going to put out an update for that. And then I'll do a formal walk around of like the whole car and everything that's done to it. So it's not super exciting, but that's kind of how it is right now. So right on.